Hello everybody. In this video we are going to discuss how to draft a notice. So to draft a notice or to do anything in the writing section, we must know some important points, that what are the important points to be included in a notice, what are the points where the students often commit mistakes. So if these two things, if we remember, if we keep them in mind, then definitely we can score 4 out of 4 in a notice. So let's discuss all these aspects one by one. Notice writing. Is of 4 marks. Notice writing is of 4 marks. It is the 4th question in the question paper of CBSE students, and it has some other questions as well in option. Now, how these 4 marks are divided? Let's see. The allocation of marks. So these 4 marks are divided into 3 parts. First, layout. Second, content. And third, expression. So this layout is given 1 mark. For content, you get 1.5 marks, and for expression, you get 1.5 marks. So in this way, the total 4 marks are divided. So the layout means the box that you have to make, and the title and the subscription, so that all that comes under the layout, and you are given 1 mark for this. Content is what you write in response to when, why, where, what. So all that forms your content, that means your subject matter. And expression includes coherence, relevance, style, fluency, grammar, spelling. So all these things are included in expression. So in notice, it doesn't matter much because you only have to finish it up in 50 words. So expression matters more in long answer type questions, especially say long compositions, writing an article, writing a debate, writing a speech. So there expression has more importance. So that's why we'll discuss expression in detail there. Here in short, I've told you that expression includes what? Coherence, relevance, style, fluency, grammar and spelling. So these are the things. On these basis you get 1.5 marks in a notice. So now let's see the format of notice. So first of all, while writing a notice, we must mention name of the institution. So first of all, we write the name of the institution. So generally the notices given to you in your exams are related to schools. So first we write the name of the school. In the second line, you can write the address of the institution, now it's not necessary to write the address in the second line. It can be included in the first line as well if it is short. For example, if the name of the school is like Modi Public School, then you can include the address in the same line. It may be like Modi Public School, Kota, Modi Public School, Baswada, or say wherever, whatever the place is. But if it's a long one, for example, Sir Padampat Singhania Senior Secondary School, and like some plot number and then the address, that Devli Arab Road, Kota, and somewhat like that. So in that case, you need to use the second line because it's very long. So to adjust that, we need to use the second line. So after the address of the institution, we mention notice, and in the same line we mention date. And after notice, we write the title. After writing the title, we give the name and then the designation. And then the designation. So up to the title, right, from the name of the institution up to the title, everything should be in block letters or capital letters. So you must remember this thing, because generally what happens that you are not in the habit of writing in capital letters. Most of us, or say all the students, use cursive or small letters. So here it's sometimes it gets difficult to remember this, or say most of the students commit this mistake that they forget about this thing, this method, and they start writing in small letters, or they start with capital letter, but then in between there comes small letters, so it becomes all a design there. So you must remember this thing, that you don't commit this mistake there in exam. And the word limit is 50. So your notice must be in 50 words. That means it can sometimes you exceed the line. It may be of 55 or 60 words as well, you write sometimes like that. So that's not a big problem, but you should include the irrelevant details. Even if it goes up to 60 words, okay, the examiners are generally lenient. They are not very much strict. They try to give you marks. So, but it shouldn't be like that you try to take the advantage of the examiner's leniency, or you always feel that you take the risk on that thought that yes, examiner will definitely give me the marks. You must follow the rules. You should avoid the risk that is advisable to you, and you must follow central alignment. So you can see here the pattern, or the way I have written all this, I have followed central alignment. So in the same way, you should also follow central alignment. It should be in a box, and the title and the address, all these things should be in the center of the box, leaving proper spaces at both the ends, at both margins. That way we must write. The title can be underlined, and name and designation should be in the left hand side. Should be in the left hand side. Now, apart from these things, there are some more points that you should keep in your mind. So, let's see what are they. One, you must remember to include three important things in your notice. That is venue, time and date. So these are the three important things that should be there in your notice. Because normally what happens, though we know all these things, but there in the pressure of exam or in the haste, what happens that we forget to include the venue, we forget to write time, or we forget to include date. So this kind of mistakes happen just because of our haste, hurry, carelessness or worry or the pressure of the exam. So these are the common mistakes, but I'm just cautioning you that you don't commit these types of mistakes. The second thing is the date that you mention just parallel to the title and the date that you mention in your message, in your notice. So there should be a gap of about 7 days in those two dates, because if you are issuing a notice, then definitely there must be some purpose of that, that all those to whom you are informing or issuing that notice, they should be well prepared for the thing that is going to be organized. So there should be a gap of about 7 days between the two dates. And what is the occasion, that should also be focused on. Say if it is about Children's Day celebration, then you must know that it is celebrated on 14th November. So this kind of things also you should keep in your mind, because otherwise you don't think about that, and what happens that your exam generally is on 1st or 2nd March. So accordingly you write the date here, and then there is a big gap or total mismatch between the two dates, and which to yourself it may be you may feel like quite absurd that what you have done or what you have written when you think of, after your exam about that, because at that time this doesn't come to your mind. Next is, students generally begin like this is to notify, this is to inform all the students, but remember, if the notice is not for all the students, then what is the use of writing all the students? That will definitely be wrong, and the impact of your notice will also be not properly conveyed, means that will create a negative impression. So avoid writing that, read the question properly, know that what it is for or to whom that notice is concerned, and then accordingly address. So it can be of course begin like this is to inform or notify, but is it for a particular class or section or division or for all? That is what you have to keep in your mind. Second thing is, generally the students write like the program has organized or has been organized. Now if the program has been organized, then what is the use of writing a notice? It's useless. So you avoid writing in that way, that has organized or has been organized. It should be that will be organized, or the society has decided to organize, or is the society is glad to inform you that this program is going to be organized. So in that way you should write the notice, you should begin the notice. Then whatever the occasion is, that should be highlighted, and between your message as well. It means simply that should be written in capital or at least underlined, so that the examiner also focuses on that, or that comes to his notice as well. He doesn't have to pay extra attention on that. And finally, some of the students make it a habit to write for further details, contact the undersigned. And what they do here, though I use the undersigned, but generally the students miss this, that they simply write for further details, contact undersigned. So that article should also be used there. So if you keep in mind all these things, if you mention all these details properly in a proper language, then definitely you will get 4 out of 4. But apart from the school notice, there are other varieties as well. It may be a public notice as well, or a notice meant for a society, housing society as well. So in that case, what will you do? Definitely we can't write that this school, or in that way we can't begin. So in that case, definitely you will begin with notice. First you will write notice, and then date, left side, and then the title, that for what purpose you are writing that. It can simply be appeal, it can simply be like attention, that suppose you want people to help a boy who is suffering from some disease or some social cause, you want people come forward and help. So in that case, simply begin with notice, write notice in the beginning, then the title, date before the title, and the left hand side, and then you write your message. And of course at the end you won't write the principal or something like that, because it's not about the school, so you must remember that, and write the name of the person who is issuing the notice, or you can give the phone number, or if you want that money to be deposited in certain accounts, so that can be included in the message, or even at the end of that subscription it can be given. So these are the ways. And if it is about a society, of course you will have to write the name of the society, like Gokul Dham Society, and the address of that society, and the rest of the things would be just as we discussed. So this is the way we write a notice. So avoid the common mistakes, common errors that I mentioned. Again, I am mentioning those mistakes one by one in one go. Don't use cursive writing or small letters while up to the title, from the name of the institution up to the title. Write the date, say here left hand side, parallel to notice. Use the name and designation of the issuing authority, and the left hand side underline the title. Don't use the phrases like clauses like has organized, or have organized, or have been organized. This language is to be avoided. Read the question properly, that whom it is meant for, and accordingly you should use to all or not to all, to particular class or what, that this is to inform all the students, or this is to inform the students of 9th and 10th or whatever it is. And make it a point that you do mention venue, time and date properly in your message. So these are your checkpoints while writing a notice. Thank you. I hope it helps you in attempting any questions related to notice in a perfect manner. Thank you very much.